The title of this lesson is on wisdom, mercy, and strength as used by one. Isaiah writes of the time to come, of a person yet to come. A spirit of wisdom and of understanding, a spirit of counsel and of strength. Not by appearance shall he judge, nor by hearsay shall he decide. But he shall judge the poor with justice, and decide aright for the lands afflicted. The person described will be, by role and by right, a judge of other persons. Whether that person shall turn out to be male or female mattered not to the Lord, for the male pronoun was simply the generic. And that person would be wise, learned, temperate, a person of fine moral character, that there would never be any questions about him or her as the foundation, the root from which so much good could later be sprung. Isaiah was speaking of David. I am writing of a judge on the bench of Rhode Island, a state in the east coast of the United States, sitting currently as a judge in the city of Providence, the capital. Judge Francesco Frank Caprio has been on the bench for decades, more than 35 years, having reached seniority and been allowed to choose his posting. He eschewed the load and the visibility of the criminal term. He has been there and done that for 20 years previously. He thought very seriously about doing the juvenile term, for he knew there he could affect many lives positively. But he had done that already for over a decade, and some of the younger judges needed that experience. No, he chose to sit in the court where he would see the greatest number of people each day, able to mete out true justice to them. Traffic court. Traffic court, I can hear you scorn. What true justice is there in traffic court? At Court in Providence on Twitter, or on the TV show Monday through Friday, 12 to 12:30, 12:30 to 1300, you can see the justice. In one, a man so beaten down by life appears before the judge. The appearance was for 3 red light violations, each caught by camera. The man so humbled, he can't look up at the judge, but he can be clearly heard. The first was when I was rushing my wife to hospital. He didn't stop before turning on red. The second, I was rushing back to hospital, as they said there was little time left for her. I had left to go get her some flowers. The camera pans, and everyone in the courtroom is wiping tears from their faces as the man tells this story in a flat, monotone voice, never looking up from the floor. The judge, too, is wiping his eyes, and his voice, usually so playful, breaks when asking, "And the third offence?" The third offence came after I buried her the next week. 3 times in 10 days, just as you said. But I have no money, Your Honor. I gave her the best funeral I could afford, but it was still just a step above a pauper's funeral, because we were both on Social Security. But I'll pay these if I have to go on a payment plan. We always paid everything, me and my Margaret. Upon saying his wife's name, the man started to silently weep. Judge Caprio, sir, all of these tickets are dismissed, with this court's greatest sympathy. You owe this court and this city nothing, but we owe you. I can see that you are a veteran, and I know there are benefits for veterans and their spouses for funerals, and that my assistant here, one of the court staffers came into view, will assist you in getting everything arranged. And okay, she will contact all of the right people for you, work with you to get everything done so that you don't have to do this alone. Also, Judge Caprio continued, I regularly have people sending me checks and cash to be used to pay the fines of the poor who appear before me, and for as I see fit. Here is a $500 cash gift I have been sitting on, that the anonymous donor from the Midwest wished to be used all on one such, quote, case of extraordinary pain and suffering. I know she was thinking of you, sir, when she wrote, I am giving you this $500 from a female disabled person in Midwest who wants to ease a few moments of your pain, to give you the space to breathe again. Judge Caprio went on, Margaret was my blessed mother's name too, and I can feel her smiling and nodding her head at what I'm going to do. The show will match the $500 gift from the anonymous donor, for you to use on a better coffin, a better grave location, or a memorial stone for your Margaret, whatever you want. Then you have $500 for future emergencies, $500 from us, plus the help from the VA will give so Margaret is given her due. The man was looking at the judge. His face was white with pain and grief, but with the notice of a person to help, a faint spot of colour. At the notice of the gift, a wash of colour appeared on his cheeks. And by the time the judge finished speaking, the man's face shone, eyes still streaming, but he was alive again. Judge Caprio had thrown him a line of hope and pulled him back from the brink of death's dark despair. This show has many such days as this, as well as a lot of joking and bad Italian jokes from Judge Caprio, and bad Irish jokes from the prosecuting cop, all totally inoffensive. And this man, with the VA and donations, they helped to get his Margaret reburied into a double plot, purchased through other donations, so that he would be buried right next to his beloved wife. That had been his greatest regret, having only enough to buy half a plot, so that he'd not be able to be lying with her in death, as they had been in life for over 45 years. Judge Caprio is a Christian man, using his wisdom, mercy, and love of his neighbour, and his empathy for their plight when dealing with him. But he demands that all fulfill their responsibilities and obligations, else he will drop the hammer. No one can pull the wool over his eyes, using his Christian love to be evil or to run a scam. Let us all hope such a person is judging us whenever we stand in judgment.